Hey guys, this is my entry to Aaron Pynn's 100 subscribers contest. Thanks a lot, Aaron, for having this contest. Just found your channel, but definitely glad I found it. Definitely going to stick around and look forward to seeing all your videos. Look like you're really knowledgeable on film, so yeah, look forward to watching all your videos. But congrats on the 100 subs, and get right into your questions. First question, how did I get into YouTube? Actually, I just happened to stumble upon some movie collectors, the big guys like Robbie Webster and the Flick Pick. And I'd always liked movies, but watching their videos and watching them talk about their collections just kind of inspired me to start collecting and watching more movies and getting more out of movies. So that's how I got into it, and I started making my own videos and really like the community here. Everyone's really friendly and nice, so that's how I got into YouTube. What brought me to your channel? It's this contest video. I'll just be honest, I'm sorry. Didn't know about your channel before this, but definitely going to stick around. I would never sub someone and then unsub them. So glad I found your channel, and hope to be checking out your videos, all of them, in the near future. But yeah, the contest brought me here. My favorite genre of film, it's definitely action films. Those are my favorite. I just think at least for me, when I watch a movie, I want to see, a spectacle. So I want to see action, ass kicking, shootouts, explosions, all of that good stuff. And my favorite action film, there's just so many. I watched the Die Hard movies a lot growing up. Definitely a lot of the Schwarzenegger movies, Predator, Commando, Eraser. Always enjoyed those. Lethal Weapon movies. Watched a lot of Steven Seagal movies as a kid, so just a whole bunch of action movies that I really enjoy. Next question, cartoon series that defined my childhood. I watched a lot of Cartoon Network, so Dragon Ball Z was a huge favorite of mine. I tried to follow that show as best I could. Try to catch every single episode. I'd be really upset when I missed an episode, but Dragon Ball Z, and I'm not an anime fan at all. I've actually never watched any other anime show, but Dragon Ball Z was definitely my favorite show. Also really liked stuff like Dexter's Laboratory. Shows were a lot more original back then than they are today, at least in my opinion. But I'd say those were my two most favorite shows, Dragon Ball Z and Dexter's Laboratory. I also was big into a lot of the superhero TV shows, like Batman, the animated series. I watched a lot of different Spider-Man series. I remember when they came out with, I think it was called Ultimate Spider-Man. I also watched the more classic one and the Justice League show. I remember watching that. DVD series you desperately want but don't own. Going along with the previous question, I'd really like to own a lot of those superhero series. Batman, the animated series, I'd love to have all of those seasons, and they're only on DVD. They're not on Blu-ray yet. I wish they would put them on Blu-ray, but anyway, I only have like one season of Batman, and I love that show. Batman Beyond 2, that was another show I watched a lot, and I'd love to have that one. And the X-Men animated series, loved that show, and I never quite got into that one. I never saw as many episodes as that as the Batman series, but I'd love to own all of those on DVD. Do I go to flea markets, yard sales, or used stores? I don't, just because I don't have any of that kind of stuff going on around me. Um, Used stores, I like a used music store that around me that I go to often that has a few movies. Never really found anything too great there, so I don't really have a best find. And yeah, I don't go to flea markets or yard sales much, so yeah, I can't. That's the best I can answer that one. The geekiest thing I own is a recent purchase. Is actually this. This was the Best Buy exclusive of the Justice League film, The Flashpoint Paradox. It came with the action figure. Yeah, I thought that was pretty geeky. Taking this up to the register, you know, it takes a little bit. It's kind of embarrassing, but yeah. Sorry, the action figure is lying around in there. There it is. But I'd say that's the geekiest thing I own. My favorite guilty pleasure movie, definitely The Master of Disguise. A movie a lot of people hate just because it's so stupid, and I definitely acknowledge that, but something I grew up with, and I really enjoy it. I think it's very funny, really easy to watch over and over again, but kind of embarrassed to say that I like this movie a lot of the time. So guilty pleasure. Where do I buy movies from? Mostly just Best Buy. I'm in the States, so Best Buy, and then eBay also. I'm usually able to find a lot of things at a pretty decent price on eBay. Mostly used things, but new movies almost always from Best Buy. Favorite genre scene in a favorite genre movie? Well, I said my favorite genre was action, but for this question, I actually want to talk about a horror genre scene, horror movie scene. I'm not a diehard horror fan like a lot of people here on YouTube, but I've definitely seen my fair share of horror movies, and actually when I was young, horror movies kind of got me more into watching movies in general, but I'm very familiar with the Halloween series. Love all of those movies. Well, mostly all of them. Really enjoy them. And I've watched them several times over, all of them as a kid. But my favorite scene from Halloween is when Michael Myers is unmasked in the first movie, I believe. I hope I'm not mistaken on that, but yeah, in the first movie when Jamie Lee Curtis unmasks him, yeah, that's my favorite horror movie scene, just because Michael Myers, you know, he's always in his mask, and you always want to see the man under the mask, and for him to, we actually got, you know, he didn't get too good a look at his face, but you know, it's just so mysterious and intriguing to see him without his mask. Definitely my favorite horror movie scene. And favorite special edition that I own, Dark Knight Rises Steelbook. I love the movie a lot. Really liked all of Nolan's Batman films, but yeah, The Dark Knight Rises, and nothing too special, just that it's the Steelbook version. I actually don't even care for the artwork too much, but I like Steelbooks in general, so The Dark Knight Rises, really loved the film, and glad to have it on Steelbook. I actually have the whole trilogy on Steelbook, but my favorite special edition. And 12th question, I hope this qualifies for an extra entry, but if not, oh well. I'm a big Disney fan, Disney animation, and I'm just gonna share with you what my favorite animated Disney film is. I know a lot of people they really like the classics, the older Disney animated films like Cinderella, Snow White, even Lion King. But my favorite animated Disney film is actually a newer one, and that's Toy Story 3. Now, I love the whole Toy Story series. Definitely love the first one. I think most people would say that's their favorite over this one. 2, I thought was still enjoyable, but definitely a step down from the first and third. But the third is definitely my favorite. I just love the story, the feeling of family and times changing. And I really like the animation in this one too. I think it has a different feel from the first two, and I was just so impressed that they were able to make the third movie so strong in a trilogy. Usually that's not the case, and this they took a long time to make this third movie. I think almost 10 years, or more than 10 years after the first one, or the second one came out. Yeah, they did a great job with this. I love the whole story. I really like the ending. It's sad and happy, but Toy Story 3, that's my favorite animated Disney film. Alright, so those are my answers. Thanks again, Aaron, for having this contest. Big congrats on 100 subs. Hope you get a lot more, and I look forward to watching and commenting on your videos from now on. So thanks a lot, man. Take care.